try to see the way the world turned what happened to me. It's not exactly what I thought it would be. I got my house on a little piece of land. This is the place I'm gonna take my stand. But I keep living on dreams. One thing I know, that's the way it's gotta be. Am I living the American dream? I keep searching for that dream of me, hoping someday that I will see myself in American dream.
How y'all doing, baby? How y'all doing? It is indeed Sunday, baby. It's time for another Blue Dot family meeting, baby. And I am so glad to see y'all are here. It'd be mighty boring if I was sitting here by myself. Anyway, Sherry Puckett was the first one to jump in. Thank you very much. And followed by Nancy Halverson, Destiny Phillips, and Richard Phillips. Thank you very much. The Feral Female Society is here. Amanda Elliott, Carol Gillens. Thank you, baby, for being here. Dorothy Tyndall, always a pleasure, baby. Jeff Curry's here. Mark Perkins. I said Mark Perkins. Dwayne Twizzle, Adina Michael, Tracy Tobias, oh, how I wish. Elena Jars, Stephanie Dean, holy shit, Jay's back. Uh-oh, making up for loss. Somebody notified the Miami Fire Department to be on standby there. They might be. Anyway, try to keep the flame down there just a bit. The remixtress is with us, as is Karen Van Wyck, and yes.
Uh-oh.
You know why?
Why?
Because I was thinking a minute ago about messing with her, but then I thought, no. I thought something else, because she said, once again, here we are. Yes, Karen, we are. What's her name? Anyway, Karen Van Wyck. Jesus, I ain't never going to get that out of my head. Michael Falbister's here. Elena Jars. Pete Briggs, thank you for being here. Yeah, me too, buddy. That hour we lost made a difference, didn't it? Bruce Preston, thank you for being here. Let me see. Get on down here, because Jeff Curry's here. Timothy's here. Let me see. Irish Giselle still rocking that T-shirt, I am sure. Maria Betancourt, Cassie Hicks is here. Diana Mallory, Bequeather the Gong, and Secret Squirrels. So glad y'all are here. I all had a great day. I spent part of my day on the Tim Cormall show today. I'm always pleased whenever I get an invitation to be on his show, and sharing it with Joe Santorsa, with Francie Ryle, and Tom. Oh Lord, I didn't write it down. An old lefty on Twitter. Give him a follow if you can. A wonderful guy. We had a wonderful show with Tim today, and discussed a whole lot of topics that are on everybody's mind today, because we are so close to dangerous times. We are in dangerous times, and just how far that's going to go, we're all holding our breath to see. On a personal note, Mary Ann McLaughlin from Royal Oak, Michigan. Baby, take care of yourself. My best wishes for your brother, speedy recovery and all that stuff, baby, and stay out of that cold shit. She lives in Minnesota. What do you say? Michigan, Royal Oak, Michigan. It's up there. It's north of San Antonio, baby. North of San Antonio, that's freezing weather up there. Anyway, so yeah, I was happy to be a guest on his show today, and the discussion was mainly about Ukraine and about America's response and what we're going to do. And I saw somebody, oh darn it, posted something in a main discussion in Discord. It'll just come to me in a minute. That was rather poignant. speaking of the things that we take for granted, talked about as we gripe about the price of a gallon of gas, or how bad things are going to get, to remind ourselves that here at home I had a roof over my head, I had food in the fridge, don't have to worry about sleep overnight. Well, most nights anyway. There's a lot to be thankful for, and it's difficult in a time like this to sit back and I'm paraphrasing, to count your entitlements, what you're entitled to. Entitlements come, well, if you ask some Republicans, entitlements, that's all socialism anyway. But I don't know. The overall theme is what is the cost of democracy? And Ukraine is experiencing that now, and so are we. So is the world. If we're worried about what a gallon of gas is going to cost us when we go somewhere, we don't have our eye on the big picture. We're being selfish. We're worried about ourselves. At a time like this, when we see so much tragedy, indiscriminate killing of civilians, bombing of civilian targets, this puts a strain on us to stand up for what we say we believe in. And every day that day gets closer that we might have to do that. They had an airstrike within 12 miles of the Polish border. It is scary. I don't remember a time like this since the Cuban Missile Crisis when I was 10 years old, that the world was nervous about what was going to happen. But on that note, we can't let Putin dictate what we will or what we will not do, because at that point, we're not the leader. I don't know what NATO's plans are. I don't know what President Biden's plans are. But I do know where I stand in this. And I'm happy with myself. Anyway, let's delve into the mysterious and invite Mitch up here. Mitch got his hand up down there in the gallery. Mitch, how are you doing?
Hey, John, how are you, brother?
I'm hanging in there every day, baby. As Andy Paguda would say, like a hair in the biscuit, buddy. Hanging in there. How's Julie?
She's okay. She's in the virtual reality world right now, so she's not. She's trying to disarm a bomb in virtual reality. So
Yeah. There you go. Travis is
I really
in.
hope I really don't feel like virtually exploding today. So I have to put this shit together.
What game is that?
I don't know. Some game on the Oculus. Some game
On the
BDF.
Oculus. Yeah, that's what Travis has.
Probably keep talking and nobody explodes.
It makes me nauseous. So
Yeah, you're on.
Oh, you get VR sick?
What's that?
I'm right there.
What?
I'm right there. I got sick. Deadly sick. I was crawling out the door sick. That thing will mess with your mind.
It really does.
Mitch, did it blow up?
yeah, give me a sec, John.
Okay, go ahead. I know this can be a tense and serious situation here, wrong, mistake, As a matter of fact, we just watched somebody in Ukraine defusing a bomb that did not go off when it was dropped from a Russian plane, and they're sitting there, an old boy sitting there screwing out the fuse, while another old boy is sitting there pouring water on it. And a third guy standing there with a cell phone taking pictures of it. Lord have mercy. That would make anybody nervous, I guess. But he did it. Got the fuse out and walked off and got it away from the bomb. So, we're seeing incidents like that of heroism, of courage, all over Ukraine. And I just, I'm more proud of them than anything I can be. And on that note of being proud, since I said that word, let me say something about one of our blue dots. Eva Adams lives in Berlin, Germany. And Eva, over the last several days or week, she started by making a trip to where the Ukrainians were being brought in as refugees there in Germany. And that they were bringing in pets and stuff. So Eva went down with pet carriers and pet food and cat litter and all manner of things for animals. And she went and delivered that. But then, as natural for Eva, she got wrapped up in all the other efforts to help those refugees that are coming into Germany. And she did a video earlier. It's on my Facebook page. It is on YouTube. And the title of that is Putinism is Trumpism. And it is, baby. It's the same ratting in just a different corner of the world. But please, go give her a listen if you can. And for her, she's in a different time zone. But, baby, when you hear this, I just want you to know that this Blue Dot family is so proud of you for the way you're stepping up and actively getting involved in helping these refugees. That you couldn't be a finer example of the people that we need at a time like this. So, baby, if you're listening, I'm just so proud of you. Anyway, Hank, how are you?
I'm doing all right.
Good. How's everything over in the Netherlands?
Partly calm, partly over the top. Apparently, in the rocket attack in the west of Ukraine yesterday, that was a training center for soldiers, basically. And, a lot of people died, a lot of people got hurt, seriously wounded.
Yes.
And apparently, according to our media, there were a few, I don't know how many, Dutch volunteer Legion fighters there. And
You have to wonder
are.
because it was an area where they're bringing in people.
Yeah.
Where people are coming in to help.
Yeah, who they are, nobody knows.
No.
They might be ex-military, they might just be mercenaries, they might just be amateurs thinking, oh, let's pick up a gun and have a laugh.
Right.
Well, they don't laugh anymore. But a lot of other civilians dying in Ukraine at the moment, of course. Mayors being abducted, probably executed, replaced by other mayors or traitors, basically. And of course, we have the journalist, American journalist, who got shot and died in Irpin
After
which is very
clearing
near
a
to Kiev.
checkpoint.
Yes,
Yeah.
but that's no guarantee.
No,
I mean, you can clear a
evidently not.
checkpoint. I've seen a few videos in which civilians get shot up because the Russians shoot at any car.
Yeah.
Or any
They're
vehicle.
pretty much
passing.
indiscriminately shooting at anything, either with
They
guns
don't
or
care.
with tanks or with missiles.
Yeah, they don't care. They even tried to shoot some protesters in the city. Well, that didn't really work because apparently there was somebody with an anti-tank rocket in the vicinity and blew up their armored vehicle. But yeah, a lot of shit is going down at the moment.
It is. It's increasing with Putin's move on his attack 12 miles from the Polish border. That's a pretty
what's the
bold
problem?
move.
We cannot do anything except for helping refugees. I don't know whether I'm going to do volunteer work. I still have to think about it because of my own COVID situation, because I'm in a risk group. But still, I just posted a meme that I might post in a week on Facebook when I'm back from Facebook jail.
Yeah.
And it is a rather harsh meme. It's in the normal chat, and it's a picture of an atomic explosion, a nuke, and then the text. Be careful for what you wish for when you call for NATO intervention.
Yeah,
Because
that's the thin line that we walk here, the
And I need
double-edged
to-
sword
I-
of this.
I need to stress this to everybody listening, that no matter how emotional you get, how horrific this is, how we all want NATO or anyone to step in, kill Putin or fight back or whatever, the Ukrainians are fighting back really bravely. We are dealing with a psychopath, a guy who was almost not let into the KGB because he did not know fear, he did not know empathy. We are dealing with a psychopath here, a guy who is known to have made gas attacks in Syria, has destroyed civilians
Yes.
and their housings in Grozny, kills anybody who opposes him, either with nuclear poison like polonium or with a Novichok, a nerve gas in England, what he did to Skripal. He's killed a lot of people in his lifetime. This guy is not a guy to be trifled with. So as soon as NATO bombs any place in Ukraine or Russia, you can say, well, with a 100% certainty, this guy will launch a nuke. And whether that is a tactical nuke, whether he does it to scare people, so he shoots it on the North Sea or any other sea, whether he destroys a small city in Ukraine or outside of Ukraine, this is his method of
Any
operation.
any firing of a
Any
nuclear weapon, it could set
that
off a chain reaction.
it will set
Uh,
off a chain reaction. I mean, it doesn't
and
matter
and
whether
this is,
NATO
yeah, it doesn't matter at that point.
responds or not.
You know,
No,
everything's gone. If you start throwing
yeah.
nukes around, we all lose. There's no winners in anything.
No, but even
Yeah.
even if NATO would withhold, even if everybody would keep a cool head in the West, one nuke uh, will become two nukes, will become three nukes, and then at one certain stage, NATO or the US has to react.
Ask Hiroshima
They fire
or
back.
Nagasaki what one nuke will do.
Well, they fire back.
And those are
China
old nukes.
fires, and there we are, mutual assured destruction. So
Yes.
that is the danger of it all. So the only thing we can do is take care of these refugees, help them with all we can. Do not moan about petrol being or gas being high
No,
priced.
this is the
Ask the
least that we're going to
government
pay
for
for
compensation.
democracy, is the price that we pay for gas. That's
Yes,
what we,
and
you know, and nobody loves it. Nobody says, oh, well, you know, this ain't going to bother me. Yes, this is going to bother all of us.
Yeah, and keep the moral high ground.
Exactly.
We have the moral high ground at the moment, and that's not worth much because people are still dying. I know, but the moment we attack, even though one missile hits Poland by accident or on purpose, nobody knows that. We're fucked. Basically, everybody's fucked. So
Everybody's
you
fucked.
can
At that
you
point,
can sit on your porch in America and think, oh, it won't happen here. It will happen. I mean, in the 80s, I grew up in the 80s under the umbrella of nuclear mutually assured destruction. I saw um, uh, that big movie the day after, uh, and that is something that young people these days, they don't know about this anymore. They have no
No.
clue. Basically, we, the
no,
older
it's
generation, we know.
there's
So
got to be an answer to this besides nuclear Armageddon.
pumping
Let's hope.
weapons into Ukraine is the only way. Pumping high advanced anti-aircraft, anti-missile stuff in. Give them Iron Dome. Give them
Yeah.
CRAM or
Yeah, give
whatever.
them Patriot missiles. Whatever it
Patriot
takes
missiles
to
and
control
at
the
least-
skies, because as long as Russia has control of the skies, there's no place safe to be in Ukraine.
Not only that, but also, of course, we have these rocket launchers, and they go like 20, 30 kilometers far. The multiple rocket launch systems. We've got artillery, and we cannot take that out ourselves. So if we provide, for instance, if we provide Ukraine with Reaper drones, or the Bayraktar drone from the Turkish drones, we need to help these people defend themselves. And the more armor and equipment rolls in
No, I believe that.
with trains or is sneaked in any way, that might help. Is
Yeah.
NATO in a conventional war stronger than Russia? Yes, most likely, because we
Yeah.
have a technological advantage. We have about 1.5 million people more than Russia has, even though they are from different countries. Blah blah blah. We've got the US backing, which is also quite a substantial army. However, the entire question of whether a conventional war with Russia is possible at this moment is sadly moot and obsolete, because he
It's not
already
possible
threatened
because
using
Russia does
nukes.
not have any comparable military to go up against NATO and the United
No,
States.
and so they
Their only
they will
option
use
would be
nukes.
nukes. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Well, let me
So
let me call out a few thank yous real quick because I want to get to one of them. One, I want to thank you to Gary Spring up in Canada, who sent down 2 beaver bucks and said, "Happy Sunday, John." Well, Gary, happy Sunday to you, brother, up there in Canada. We appreciate you being here. And Chexter 255 donated $5 and came in and said, "I saw 60 Minutes Australia report that a Russian oligarch put a $1 million bounty on Putin's head." Really?
yeah, he
Thank
did
you
that
very
2
much,
weeks ago.
Chuckster. And why only $1 million? No shit, you're an oligarch. Put a B up there. Come on. Come on, let's get serious. Don't put no $1 million. What is that, chump change? Is that a tip for somebody? And I want to thank Mitch Goldstein, who came in with a $5 donation to remind us of a very important prophecy.
Yes.
War, Mitch wrote, war is always wrong. Always wrong.
Yes. Outdated.
And therein lies the dilemma of peaceful people. We know
Well,
war
how
is
long has
always wrong.
America been? How long's America been around now?
Well, I don't know, but 90% of it probably we've been at war with somebody. Yeah,
Because,
247
that's
years,
what
I
we
think.
do, you know,
Yeah.
this nation was born in blood, and it's gonna die in blood.
Unfortunately, you know, I'm afraid you might be right. You know, what are we faced with now is a scary situation. Getting
Yeah,
into
but
this
I
war.
don't want to hear from people. I do not want to hear from people who say, "Oh, America's never been this divided before," because that's bullshit.
Oh,
too.
we've been divided. We've been divided lots of
We've
times.
never
We
been
fought each other.
divided in the
We had a
social
civil war,
media.
remember?
Yeah,
We
right,
have been
well-
divided. And it is those that lead us that bring us together or drive us farther apart. Joe Biden is doing his best, I think, to bring this country together. But I saw the former guy had a rally last night where he's already out there preaching about how wonderful this world would be if he was still president, which I wish he would just shove it up his ass and shut the fuck up. Hey,
I just need you to shut the fuck up, 'cause nobody asked you, bitch.
nobody asked him. But he came out again, bad mouthing Biden and all this, and I can't help but keep thinking to myself of Poroshenko, the former president of Ukraine, that I am seeing on the streets of Ukraine,
Yeah.
and he is praising President Zelensky. He is standing up for his country. He's being loyal to a cause. And what does our former guy do? You know, there's patriotism and then there's bullshit. And Trump sells bullshit. And those that follow him just lick it
All
up.
Trump has is bullshit. Bullshit and racism.
That's it. He's got hate to sell. And to preach that how wonderful it would be if he, only he, were king. How great things would be.
Hey, John, man, remember when we were in San Antonio with all those fucking Trump bots?
Yes,
Oh,
I do.
man, around about
We were in the thick of it.
150,000 of them motherfuckers.
We were in the thick of them, man. I'm telling you. Yes, that's the night that preacher boy down there in San Antonio had all the QAnon nuts in town, and we didn't know they were there until it was too late. And again, I echo Diana Mallory's thought the other day when she made a donation and said, "You saved the day with the Puffy Taco Run." I mean, you made it.
Puffy tacos.
Puffy
say
tacos, man.
anything.
Anybody that was in San Antonio knows what we're talking about. Puffy tacos, baby.
And if you weren't there, that's your own fault.
That's your own fault. Next time you need to be there. So.
Yeah, I think it's looking pretty good that we're going to try to do 2022 in Galveston.
Call me.
Possible.
Let me know what day y'all are going to be out there. Galveston, oh Galveston.
In October.
Well, it won't be cold down here. It's Texas.
Come on down.
Yeah, we don't get winter until January. We've had it the last few days, but tomorrow we're going to be back up to 80, so I'm starting to feel better. Let me say a thank you first to Keith Beal, who came in with a $10 donation and said, we need to take Putin out. Keith, thank you very much, and Kathy, thank you. Yeah, somebody needs to take his ass out. That would be the answer to all of this, is if somebody took his ass out. But they say he's not easy to get to. I did hear a conversation today about what he is scared of. But first, let me thank Catman56 came in with a donation just to say thanks for playing the Shut the Fuck Up clip. Anytime we play that, Keith gets a smile on his face, and so do I. The one thing that Putin is afraid of, he's not afraid of the oligarchs. He's not afraid of the public. He's got deep control over the messaging system through the TVs out there. What he is afraid of is those that are in the intelligence service in Russia. And we all talk about how Putin was a KGB guy. Well, that's the one thing he is afraid of, that his intelligence officers will turn against him. You know, right now they say he's getting information from people that are just yes men. They're trying to give him the best view of what's going on in Ukraine, and the rest of the world is seeing what's going on. You know, he's made advances, but he's paying a heavy price for it. You know, he was expected to roll into Kiev and just take it over. He's not there yet, baby, but they're getting close. You know, I don't know. At my heart, I'm like Mitch. There is no war that's worth it. There's not anything worth the devastation that we're seeing. Nothing is. Why would you do that to your neighbor? But then I don't have to look far to see how neighbors treat their other neighbors to know the answer to that question. And, well, anyway, that's a whole other rant. You know, I said the other day, I want to believe that we are Poland, that we are Romania, that we would be the country that accepted refugees into their country. If this was on our border, would we be so generous? In the past, we have not shown that we would be. It is only when, I don't know what you call it, the conscience of the world, the intolerance of human suffering at some point takes over. I don't know. Somebody saved my ass. I'm getting melancholy here. I don't know. What did somebody say one time? It takes a village. Yeah, it's going to take all of us, baby. And what happened to Hank? We lost Hank. We lost Hank. Holy shit. Oh, there he is down here. I got you, Hank. I'm going to pull you back in, but before we get Hank in there, I want to welcome somebody else for a first time, I believe. Farrell?
Hi, John.
Is this Farrell of the Farrell Female Society?
Yes, it is.
Well, how are you doing, darling?
I'm doing real well. I'm just kind of sticking my toe in the waters right at this moment.
Just stick that bugger right in there.
I wanted to say hi to you and thank you for being my id for the last 4 years.
Well, thank you. I appreciate
You've been
it.
saying everything that has been running through my head, but I am surrounded in Redneckistan.
There you go. I'm thank you. I'm so thankful because I always remind people I'm no different than any one of y'all. That's how come y'all say that. That I say what you're thinking is because we're all thinking the same thing.
Well,
I just turned on my camera.
I truly admire the fact that you have the cojones to deal with your neighbors, despite anything.
Never
that
a
you say.
dull adventure around here. I'm telling you. Yeah.
And I wanted to say, hi, everybody. I wanted to call and just introduce myself.
Well,
I've
we're
been
glad.
kind of
Yes,
chatting with you guys,
please do.
and you've all been really very wonderful and welcoming. Since after 4 years, I finally got the nerve to kind of talk to you in chat. And
The nerve, like it's something. Come on now. Come on.
well, I'm a bit of a hermit. But
I'm thinking about becoming one.
Hey, it's a lot less drama.
It is. It is. That's why we moved out here. That's why I picked this place. That's just where well, now, guess what? Drama comes to you sometimes. So.
Well, I mean, it comes onto the property whether you even leave.
Yeah,
but,
that's true.
As long
that
as you're
is true.
staying within your particular
But I am
fence
tickled to
scale.
see because we have seen you in here in the chat for quite a while.
Well, like I said, I've been following you since before Trump got elected.
Wow, thank you. Thank you.
I just have been kind of lurking in the background.
That's what we do, baby. We're a presence.
I was
That's what we.
listening to everyone else that has, you were talking to before, and everybody just jumped right into the seriousness of the topic of life at the moment. And I felt a little odd about just kind of trying to jump in and introduce myself.
No. Don't ever feel odd about that. Anybody out there listening, please come by and join us.
Well, if you haven't ever jumped onto Discord before and you've just been watching like YouTube or something,
that can be a little intimidating.
It's a little bit different. I've listened for a few times. I've been in here in Discord and trying to get used to the concept of just listening to you like I'm listening to you on a conference call.
Right. Yeah.
As opposed to watching you speaking. And since I'm dealing with just a phone, I have to make a choice between the two.
Well.
And so don't let the technology freak you out if you want to jump in and say something.
It's something that can be overcome. It's not that difficult.
Yeah.
It can be intimidating.
Just recognize that on Discord, it's more like being on a conference phone call. You're not going to be able to see John talking, but you can hear everything that's going on.
Yeah. You're in the conversation. Don't try to watch the show on your device because then there's going to be a delay there.
Unless you're fortunate enough to have a laptop or something where you can have two separate signals going on. Because it does offer a choice to be able to deafen the audio and then click back in to talk if you have two separate devices that you can work on. So it's not as scary as it seems, even though I've been tentative. It's not as scary, folks, as it seems like.
It's just conversation around a table is all it is.
Yeah. As far as the topic of the day, of the century at this moment goes, really,
it's hard to pin down, isn't it, darling? Isn't it?
Well, you and I, we have the ability to vote.
Yes.
But nobody out there is going to listen to just me. I mean, I can't talk to Putin and talk sense to him.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be nice if I could. I would,
if I get close enough to talk to him, I'd
down
probably
to him and try to speak with him like a human being and discuss what it is he's doing and whether, I mean, because really, if he wanted to go down in the history books, wouldn't he have been better off as being like the best leader that there had ever been?
Yes.
And kind and compassionate and bringing all of the Soviet Union back together.
That would have been such an easier path and one that would have,
history as being a magnificent human being.
Greed is what it is, baby, because it's an oligarch society. Every business there is owned by somebody.
But aren't these supposed to be super intelligent people?
Well,
I mean, doesn't it make more sense to try to bring everybody together, even if you're manipulating the shit out of them? Okay,
it's better to work with somebody than to try to war. As Mitch reminds us, well, there's no reason for war. War is always wrong. It's always the wrong answer.
Well, I mean, and ultimately, unless he comes to an end somehow, his life isn't really going to change because, he's got some bunker somewhere with everything lined up.
Yep, we all hope he goes there and blows his brains out, but, I don't think that's going to happen in this case. But,
well, and
he's untouchable right now, unless it's somebody within Russia itself, within his his circle, makes that. That's how come they say the most most worrisome is the intelligence officers around him. He has to deal with them, and if they start putting this together as I would guess intelligent men do, people do that they're going to see what's going on in the world, and they're going to see what's going on the ground in Ukraine, and none of it's good. And it's all driven by one man. This is not a decision by Russia to do this. No, this is Putin by himself that has made this decision. So, yeah, $1 million ain't enough, whoever that oligarch is. Come on, buddy, you got billions. Let's kick up at least. Get your other buddies, get in there, and let's get a pot going for, $10 billion, $20 billion, $100 billion. Y'all could pitch in and give up one freaking yacht. Are you shitting me? Come on. Pitch in for the cause here.
They're going to need enough money to be able to disappear, and $1 million is going to do it.
Ain't gonna do it. Ain't gonna. Yeah, that's chump change. That's a tip for these guys. So come on, get serious.
That's one of those ultra billionaire kind of dudes are listening to this.
Yeah.
Take into consideration that if you're asking somebody to take that level of an action to stop this, then you need to do what you can to make sure that that person's going to be safe after they take that action.
Yep. Yeah, because $1 million, well, to quote Stephen Colbert, it's potato. $1 million to these oligarchs is potato. Bernadette, are you in the room with us, darling?
I am, John.
Look who we got.
The conversation. Hey,
the Feral Female Society is within us.
Yes. Welcome. And I'm
Hi,
so glad.
Bernadette.
Hi, Farrell. I'm so glad that you came in. And yeah, the best thing to do is just poke around, listen for a little while until you feel comfortable. But always know your voice is welcome here.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Always know that.
Always.
John, I saw an article today about the doubly impeached orange fuckface that I call.
Oh, I think I know that guy.
Trump. Had a rally over the weekend.
Yes. Yes, he did.
He sat up there and told his peeps, the zombie COVID horde that follows him.
Yes.
It's their brain because.
Yeah, they lost.
He told those people, the number one thing for us to do in this country. Now, see, here's the difference between America and the people over here, and those people over there fighting for their democracy, fighting for their home, fighting for their lives, and saying no to an autocrat who wants to come in and just take everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's the difference. He told his people they should lay down their lives to get rid of critical race theory in America.
Lay down their lives to get rid of critical race theory. See, we ought to have that on an echo. That's race theory.
That's worth dying for here in America to these people.
How low, it's just whatever they can sell, Bernadette, whatever hate they can sell. And right now, critical race theory, that's a buzzword, baby. You know what that means. You know what it means. Come on, baby.
What that means.
Yeah.
I know exactly what that means. What I'm saying is, these people over in Ukraine are fighting for something that's real. They're fighting for their lives. They're fighting for their existence. And this fool is promoting his racist bullshit. Hill, does the man know he lost the fucking election?
No.
Or does he
he's still preaching the fact that it was stolen from him.
Holy fucking shit, man. What the hell is wrong with people in America?
Somebody please kick him in the head, knock some sense into him.
Fuck off.
He is. Okay? He's out there disgusting. It's disgusting. Putin wouldn't have done this if I was in office. Yeah, because Putin only had to sit back and watch you try to destroy the rest of NATO. And hell, Ukraine might run to Russia just to get away from your ass. It's sick.
No, Putin would have came over the land bridge and came down through Alaska to get not only Alaska,
by an invitation from him.
Of America.
Well, didn't Trump get rid of some sort of treaty that we had about a no-fly zone over the Arctic area with Russia?
Trump tried to get rid of everything that he could possibly get rid of to make Putin's life a hell of a lot better, because all he wanted to do was get accolades and have Putin kiss his ass. But only
Trump
thing he
wanted
did
to
was
become
kiss
one of Putin's
Putin's
oligarchs.
ass.
I
Yes.
remember
That's
being
what he
really
wanted.
disturbed by the fact that he'd gotten
He
rid of
got
some
rid of
treaty.
he got rid of a lot of he tried to get rid of everything that he could have possibly get
Hell,
rid
Scott Pruitt's
His
whole
main
job
thing
was
was
to
to
get rid of.
rid
back
of
door to
NATO.
America, to Putin.
Yeah. All right, let me send out a quick thank you to Catman56 who sent in another donation and said, "What would we be like in America if Trump was still in power?" Well, there's the question we're just discussing. Well, for one, comrade, we would have plenty of vodka, and we'd all be drunk in the
I
street.
think that American foreign policy would be giving Ukraine to Putin.
They would hand it over to him.
There are generals out there right now, or shall I say, farmers that worked under Trump that are out there saying Ukraine just needs to give up and just give Putin what he wants. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You were a general in the United States Army. Are you going to tell the American people to do the same thing?
Look
if
at the
somebody
sitting
wants to come over
congressman in
here
North Carolina,
and invade
Cawthorn.
us?
Look what
Oh,
Cawthorn's out there
please
saying.
don't get me started on
Yeah.
his dumb ass.
You know, that's what kills me so much about this shit. Is we are
I sent
watching.
you that link to Eva today.
Oh.
And Eva is right. The number one thing that we have to do, and I can't repeat it enough times. Y'all gonna say, Bernadette, you're a fucking broken record. But I'm gonna say it again.
Say it.
We need to get out and vote. That is
the key,
most
baby.
important thing going on in this country right now is voting.
Yeah.
If you even think there is a question about your voter registration, check it out now so you have that shit in order.
That
Get your
cannot be
papers
screamed
in
enough.
order.
You know
Get your
that
papers in order,
That's
because they
Sandy
are going
papers.
to make it
Uh.
so difficult this time around.
yes, Curtis, we do.
I can't say it enough.
I-
I can't.
Yeah. We have a major problem here. We have a major problem, but it's in our house. It's in our house. You know, I keep, you know. Let me quote this real quick because it just came in. Curtis Wood just came in with a $5 donation and said, "Don't you wish we could harvest some of Ukraine's unity and export it here?" There's a damn good comment for the moment. Yes, I do, and that's our problem. The former guy, the orange
Don't forget
anus.
the one prior to that.
Yeah, and but I've never seen a division in this country so vile, on a personal level and on a national level. You know, I just can't believe.
John, not to cut you off.
No, go
but
ahead.
there was another.
Yes, Diana Mallory,
super chat
bequeather of the Gong and Secret Squirrels, came in with a $10 donation and said, "We took out Saddam Hussein. We took out Osama bin Laden. Puck Putin is not untouchable. Nobody is untouchable. We could take, you know, it is the, man, and that, you know, that's what I mean when I say it's him. It's not Russia. Russia is under the dominance of Putin. This decision to go into Ukraine was Putin's decision. So let's hope that the intelligence officers in Russia, whoever it is in Russia, the oligarchs, whatever it is, see the handwriting on the wall and stop this before it goes any farther, because it's a dangerous place to be and not one to toy with.
And the Republicans are playing a dangerous game in this country.
They
here.
are. The division.
They are setting us up for failure.
And how do you convince that? Because, you know, if I go down the freaking street and try to talk to people that don't live too far from me, and, you know, about what patriotism is, they're going to come up with a different fucking answer. And it has something to do with Joe Biden.
John.
It's not patriotism. Who's in the White House is not patriotism. No.
It's about democracy. It's about
the greater
being
good.
Controlled by a dictator, or do we get to pick our elected officials?
A democracy implies that you get a voice in it. That your voice matters. That's what a democracy is.
Yeah.
And as soon as they take away your right to vote, it's not a democracy anymore because you don't have control over who your leader's going to be. Don't worry, comrade. We'll pick that for you. You don't have to worry about it. Just go drink your vodka. You know, is that the world we're living in? No. No, we fought for our democracy 247 years ago, baby. And the fight has continued for a portion of this land since.
I think that Trump wouldn't try to do what Putin is doing now.
No.
You know, really, he would fall on his face because he's just not that fucking smart.
He's
Okay?
not. Things are not going as
not.
Putin thought, that he could just go into the Ukraine and just waltz in there and just take everything and that's it, just like he did Crimea. But we let him get away with Crimea. We let him get away with what he's been doing in the Donbass region, and he thought he was emboldened because Trump emboldened him. Trump was in the process of trying to destroy NATO. Trump's best buddies were Putin and Kim Jong-un and who's the guy in shit. I want to say. See, that's the problem. Getting old. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, you get short-term memory when you get old. And I'm old. That's what it is.
And Trump is older than you, so how much short-term memory does he have?
Yeah, a lot. I'm thinking. Anyway, he doesn't have a thought in his head. He's got one thought in his head. How can I get more money? How can I get more money and more power? How can I get more people to worship me? That's what's in his brain. That's what it is, family's brain. His kids, his daughter, his sons, his wife. It's all a materialistic world to them. You know, I saw another picture today of Melania Trump, and I swear, if I was thinking to myself when I saw this picture, if I ever get a chance to go protest or get into a Trump event, the one picture I want to hold up is Melania Trump sitting on an airplane wing with her ass hanging out, and just fly that. That's it. That's all. No words. Just fly that. You fucks, because that's who your first lady is. That's who you worship. It's her ass. It's the dollar. It's money and prestige. And you're not there. These maggots, they're not there. You know, so they pump them up with the bumper sticker of freedom and God and the Bible and all this other shit to convince them that they're good Americans. No, you're not. No, you're not. Suckered in by a con man, and that's what the disgusting part of this is to watch the people that I know turn their back on the basic tenets of our fucking democracy, the right to vote. The Republicans are against that shit. We'll decide if we don't like what you chose, well, we'll do it ourselves. No, fuck you. That's not democracy. And if the Ukrainians are willing to fight for it then, why aren't we willing to fight for it now? 247 years after it's been declared a democracy, we're still fighting for it.
This is a yes, they told these people if you're between certain ages in this country, I think it's 16 or 18 and 60, you have to stay and fight for your country. And these people were more than willing to stay.
I don't think he had to tell them.
How many people actually even just volunteer for our services here in this country?
Less than 1%. I can answer that.
Yes.
And I don't say
Less
that
than
begrudgingly
1%.
because the military is not for everybody. It can be a hard life. And you will learn things that you really don't want to learn. But it opens your eyes to a reality.
You have women over in Ukraine that decided to stay and to pick up arms to fight for their country. They sent their kids out of this country so that they would survive. And they chose to stay and fight for their land and fight for their right to exist without somebody
as a
putting their
democracy.
knee on their neck.
That's why I'm so proud to see former President Poroshenko out there with a flak jacket on, talking in the streets about how proud he is of the current president, supporting his country, putting country over party and self-worship, which is what we got in the former guy. There's a big difference in the patriotism I'm seeing in Ukraine and the patriotism that we say we have here. We don't have it like we used to, if we ever had it at all. We did during World War II. Hell, I love World War II movies. We're the good guys. Everybody's rooting for the good guys. It's a world effort to defeat fascism. Go good guys. Now it's a
world effort right now to defeat fascism. And if you think that we're not in World War III, take a look at your gas prices. This war is affecting everybody around this world.
Yeah.
Our food prices are going to go up.
We may not have a choice in whether there will be a World War III.
And Russia are the bread basket of the world. They supply a large amount of the wheat that goes out in this world. This is going to affect everything and everybody.
In more ways than one. It's going to be more than the gas, baby. It's going to be everything we buy.
And John,
on that note,
we have a few hands up in the audience. I'd just like to remind you.
Okay.
Keep an eye on it.
Let me see if we can get. Oh, look at there. We done lost Hank again. Where's my mouse? Hank, you just keep jumping out. Let's get him back in here, and then we're going to bring in Ardessa. Let me see if we can get Ardessa in here, and Keith. Keith, you jumped on me, buddy. I was about to click on you there, and you moved. There we
Somehow
go.
my audio keeps cutting out by itself. I'm not sure why.
Let me ask real quick,
Might be a
Bernadette.
glitch.
Darling,
Yes.
would you entertain the room for a minute while I step off camera? I forgot something I really wanted in here, and I'm going to go get it.
Absolutely.
Thank you, dear.
Now, Hank,
Yeah.
what's this about your audio keeps cutting out?
Yeah, I don't know. Whenever I, for instance, switch over to food porn or whatever to look at something,
Yes.
my audio just stops.
Yes,
doesn't work
it will
anymore.
do that. Are you on a
I'm on a
phone
phone.
type device? That
Yeah,
that happens to all of us on phones.
Okay.
Just stay in the room, and then you won't lose your audio, and you won't get booted out.
Yeah.
I just want to pull up something that the remixtress said in the YouTube chat. She said gas is expensive. Democracy is priceless, and she's absolutely right. Once we lose our democracy, we're not gonna get it back, people. We're not gonna
not
get
sure.
it back.
I'm not sure if you got this in the States, but a few news outlets here came with that story. Apparently, the Kremlin has put out a memo, which was supposed to be secret, that news organizations that are, of course, under Putin's command now in Russia have to show pictures of Tucker Carlson, because Tucker Carlson is a perfect agent for Putin. Now,
Well,
you
he's
have a
doing
big
his
problem in-
work right here in America.
Yeah, he's
and
doing his
Putin
best.
is using that as this is America supporting our side of the war, which is bullshit. Also want to welcome Keith, Bill, and Ardessa to the room. Good evening,
Well, he
you
needs
guys.
to be arrested.
Yes, he does.
And Fox
Well,
needs to be
Bernadette.
shut down. They are fifth column and they are pro-Russia. And basically, I think someone should check where the money is coming from there, and who.
We all
pays
know
the
where it's coming from. We already know that. We know where the money's coming from.
Well, then as soon as this becomes a hot war, arrest this traitor, please.
We're going to do our best on that.
Absolutely.
Ardessa, how are you, darling?
Doing okay.
And how's Dan?
Dan,
Thank you,
Dan's
Bernadette.
taking a nap right now.
You're welcome.
But, he's doing so-so.
Yeah, so.
That's good to
That's
hear.
good. That's good. We'll take so.
Yeah.
Let's
Start getting
try to get a
therapy
step
pretty
up
soon.
from there, but we're glad to
Yeah,
see
he's
you.
gonna get
anyway.
special cardiac therapy.
Oh,
Right
So
on.
that'll
well, there
be
you
good,
go. That's
hopefully.
good. That sounds promising.
Yeah, it
Anytime
does,
the
doesn't
word
it?
therapy is involved, that's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
So, well, Ardessa, we're glad you came in. And Keith and Kathy, are y'all in the room?
Yes, we are.
Hello, darling. How are you doing, Kathy?
Oh, I'm just writing listings for eBay.
Oh, there you go.
55 pieces from the 1965 World's Fair.
Wow.
Right
Wow. 65 World's Fair. That's reaching back there.
Yeah. Oh, that's not anywhere near the oldest stuff I got. No,
Oh.
I feel like that's the newer stuff.
Ah. Boy, howdy.
That's still
That's a pretty good
snowing
hobby
here.
to be in. Huh?
It's still snowing here.
It's going to be 80 here
y'all
tomorrow.
keep that up there, okay?
Yeah, keep that up there. Close the door, too.
John,
Keith, tell her to close the door, buddy.
do you want to let you know you got a couple super chats to call out, please?
Yes, I do. Thank you. I want to thank Catman56 who came in with another donation and said oil equals death. Green living equals jobs and life. And the whole big picture of things, yeah, that's what we have to keep.
That right.
Yeah, if we don't kill ourselves by war, we're going to do it by destroying the planet. Teresa Diggum, our resident artist, came in with $5 donation and said Putin's intelligence officers know that they will die too if he gives the bomb order. That's their incentive to take him out, you'd think. Yes, you would think. You go ahead and start launching nukes around. You're going to be in the target zone sometime or another, buddy. You're already targeted. And Timothy Silva Jr. came in with a $10 donation and said, we must defeat Trumpism here in the United States. Democracy and freedom must prevail. And what wise words, Timothy. There, I like that. We must defeat Trumpism here. Here,
Yes.
that's what's going to destroy America. Remember what Khrushchev said when we kicked him out, the nukes out of Cuba. We will not destroy you from without. We will destroy you from within. Well, guess what? Putin comes along, gets hooked up with Trumpy, and guess what? Here we are. The fight is in our country. The fight is to beat what Trump did to this country, to reunify this country, to bring us back together, e pluribus unum, all that good stuff. That's what we have to concentrate on, that we are not each other's enemies, that we work for the common good. Thank you, Timothy. Thank you.
Hey, John,
Yeah.
want to hear some good news?
I need good news.
Okay,
Give me some good
I
news.
have been researching generators because, I live in PG&E zone and they go out as soon as the wind picks up over 5 miles an hour. Okay, so
Yeah?
I got the go-ahead from my partner in crime, who happens to be my son, my best friend, my roommate, a whole lot of things to me, okay,
Outstanding.
to go ahead and buy the generator of my choice, which is a solar-powered generator.
A solar-powered generator.
Solar-powered generator.
Wow. There you go.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
then you don't need any fuel. Just-
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're going green with generator choice simply because in California they're banning small generators, generators of all
Yeah,
sorts,
they're not
small
known for
engines.
being good for the environment. No.
The carbon that they put off is extensive. So, and keeping that in mind and looking for another alternative source of power for when the lights go out, and they do here frequently. I
Yeah.
saw one today, and I got to go ahead to pick that bad dude up, and
outstanding.
I'm stoked.
Outstanding. I wish I could go solar, 100% solar. There's programs that they say are out there for a lot of things, but because I belong to a co-op for my electricity, I don't qualify. Anyway.
What brand did you get?
I'm gonna go with what's called a FF Power, 2001. It's a 2,000 watt generator.
Wow.
Oh God, this thing is a beauty.
2,000
I need
watts.
something 2,000 watts, and it only weighs about 50 pounds.
Really?
That was the kicker for me, because my pump, which is my source of water, is down a hill. And so if I had to carry, well, not me, but my son
Right.
had to carry that down the hill, it's doable.
Right.
So the weight had a lot to do with it. The size of the generator had a lot to do with it, and it's got something like a 1,600 watt. You know how when you first start a generator up,
Surge.
the power
Right.
surge protector.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It-
1,600 watt surge protector on it. So my pump pulls around 1,300 watts, and so I think this is gonna do the trick for me, dude.
That's-
Not only that, but it's
I am so thankful to have the generator I have, thanks to this Blue Dot family. And
Yes.
and you
Yes.
do you know I've told the family we'll
Yeah,
plug it
and
into the
somebody's
house
saying make sure
system,
the batteries are
but you just
LiPo.
can't run
It does
everything.
have the LiPo 4 batteries in it. It's a smart machine, man. And
Outstanding.
I've been
I'm
looking
so
at these
tickled.
things for a long time. They've
That gives you a
been
little
out of
peace of
my
mind,
price
doesn't it?
range, but yeah,
Yes, it does. Keeps the lights on, baby. And like you said, up where you live, it's a matter of the electric company continuing to shut it off for one reason or another. But well, that's good. How'd Dominic's birthday go, by the way? Bernie? All of a sudden it's quiet.
We might have got disconnected.
Yes, she might also have
Hey, John,
knocked out of the
Yes,
conversation.
Keith.
Sure.
I've been watching a lot
Uh-oh.
of these videos
Right?
on YouTube about what's going on over there in Ukraine.
Right?
I've seen the video of the babies crying. I've seen pregnant women being carried away. I've seen dead bodies laying on the ground. I think I've seen it all. And Kathy actually sort of pulled me away from it because I was sitting here crying.
It's heartbreaking, Keith. It's hard.
Yes, it is.
Brother,
You see the
yesterday,
video?
yesterday evening, you know what I was doing? I was watching the History Channel. I was watching, what was it? It was at the Colombian airport in Bogota, Colombia, and how the drug teams there, spot smugglers, and how they catch them and all this. I just wanted to get away in my head to something else other than seeing what you see daily, because it is heartbreaking. It is. It just, you want to look for an escape. You want to get out of it, you know. But where, you know, this is getting, you know, you can see the mood in the country turning. You can see it in politicians now. I'm seeing politicians come on TV talking about, well, you know, we're not going to completely discount a no-fly zone. The mood in the country is turning because of the suffering we're seeing. But
How long are we going to wait?
yeah,
How many children need to die? If
well,
he
they're
takes Ukraine, what are we going to do then? We're going to wait for him to take another country?
Moldova would
what
be
it
next.
is.
I guess be probably an easy one.
Of the Union. That's. If we sit here and watch and do nothing, and I know if we do anything, he's going to push that button. I think he's going to push it anyway.
I think he's trying to prod us into this. If you ask me, he keeps pushing it, and coming within an airstrike within 12 miles of the Polish border, baby, you're getting close. Poland is a NATO member. You know, you get carried away with this shit, and then what do we do?
About him attacking NATO. Keep talking about him. Let's just talk about Ukraine for a minute. I'm tired of hearing we can't do it because Putin. Got to stop these people in Russia that are killing these people.
That's what we was talking earlier about. We're letting Putin dictate what we will and will not do. It's Putin that's put the threat out there that nobody could come in and help Ukraine. Are you shitting me? While I hear on TV that Putin is calling in mercenaries from Syria, he's getting help from Belarus. It seems to me other countries are involved in this shit.
Well,
You know?
Iran attacked American assets yesterday. So
yeah.
Yes, there are other countries involved.
There are other countries involved.
However, the problem is the only people who can take out Putin are Russians, and I think yesterday he put the director of the FSB and a colleague of his under house arrest because he wasn't pleased with the fact that they basically lied to him about how much Ukraine wanted to join Russia and how little they would defend themselves. But they're doing a hell of a job defending themselves.
They are.
And yes, that is why he's threatening and killing civilians. And let me just be very clear. I mean, America can can talk all they like. As a European, I'm saying this now. America can talk all they like. They can talk about atrocities. Oh my God, this is so bad, blah, blah, blah. But we will not forget in Europe, because we also participated in it, in what America did to civilians in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in Grenada, in Vietnam, My Lai, for instance, and in other places. So please, I understand how horrific this is for you and how emotional this is for you, but do not let them or the U.S. government goad you, or let Putin goad you into gung ho, let's go to war, because that is not the way to solve this problem.
No, the way to solve this is diplomatically, if we can.
People in Ukraine.
Yeah,
I worry about them too. My friends are fighting
meeting
there and dying. Yeah, I mean, I know people in Ukraine on the ground. I know people who were in Mariupol. They got out, thank God. I know people who are in Kharkiv, all via Facebook. Some got out, some didn't go out. I know a few people who are fighting at the moment in the military there. For now, I haven't heard that they died. And that's my connection to these people.
That could change tomorrow.
I'm as pissed off. I'm as pissed off as you are, but it would be a complete fallacy to think that without that with NATO or with U.S. airplanes bombing these Russian forces out of Ukraine on the ground, you would solve the problem. Because when that happens, other bombs will fly, and the carnage will be even greater. So either you choose very coldly 2,500 dead in Kharkiv, or you choose 130,000 dead in Berlin, because that's where a bomb will fall, or maybe Washington.
Yes.
Who the fuck
You
knows?
know, Hank, most of the
That's
people over here don't want war.
No.
A lot of Americans have protested every last single one of those wars you named off. Okay, a lot of Americans.
Everyone
I'm not blaming you, all of you. I'm trying to explain that this rhetoric, this gung ho rhetoric about we can do it, we can get them.
The only way out of this is to be able to talk it out.
At the moment in this world.
At what point, though? At what point, as Keith was asking a minute ago, diplomacy is being tried right now. Every day, that door is open. What are we hearing from the other side? Lavkov just the other day, the ambassador for Russia is saying they did not attack Ukraine. Just outright, just a lie that the world can see. And what do you do with that? We don't want to go to war.
We have to keep telling the truth, John.
We do, because you are talking to the side that is anti-war.
We have to keep trying to communicate with these people.
Democrats as a whole have been the doves. We're not the hawks.
Here's the problem. Putin does not respect Germany.
Give a shit.
He doesn't respect France. He's talking to the leaders of these places, and he don't respect none of them people. He thinks of them all as smaller than him. Seriously, there's only two ways to get out of this: is to convince this man that he's totally fucking wrong, and he needs to stop. And that too needs to come from within Russia. And I don't know how we do that.
You do it with
China
information.
should be involved in this. Okay, Biden's on the right track by revoking his favorite nation status.
I don't know why that.
Okay, that's gonna put a hurting on that motherfucker like he ain't never seen before.
Yes.
Okay?
Now they can put tariffs on everything, Russia, that ain't banned already.
On everything.
Tariff the shit out of it.
Exactly. Okay, we're doing everything that we can, but until we can get Putin to understand, you're not gonna win this war. You may even take Ukraine, but you're not going to win this shit.
Let's kind of look at it as
already done.
There's a contest of tolerance.
More guns and all the rest of that. No, that's not going to solve.
There's a contest of tolerance here. Who's going to give in first? Is it going to be the American people bitching about gas prices, or is it going to be the Russian people that don't have bread on the shelves, that their ruble isn't even worth hardly a penny?
Yes, and it does have to come
their stock
from
market won't
within
even
like
open
that.
because it'll
Yeah,
crash.
because
There's so many.
another reason why. There's another reason why we cannot take Putin out. I mean, for instance,
No, this
No, we can't.
the only
we send a
assured
bomb.
way would be
And-
inside of Russia.
and he survived.
You know,
Okay, so he survives the bomb that the West sent, or the jet or the drone that the West sent. He survives that. What do you think he'll do?
oh Lord,
Yeah.
baby,
The Russians have to do it.
yes,
The Russians have to do it, and
The
they will
Russians
only
have to do it.
start realizing this when the sanctions that are already in place
Yep.
start taking hold,
Talking
and that
effect.
takes a month, basically.
yeah.
It
It
is
takes a
gonna
while for
take
it
time, yeah.
to
Might
really
not
get
be
And,
enough
desperate.
and in the
Ukraine,
meantime,
but it'll
in
take a month.
we're gonna watch more hospitals get bombed. We're gonna watch more churches
Yeah.
get bombed
Yeah.
because this man has no fucking soul. He
No.
doesn't.
I think Jeanette Miller
Yeah.
said it good here in the chat. She said you won't get Putin to understand it any more than you can get Rump to accept that he lost. That's true.
Yeah.
Putin's not going to
And
accept
that's
any
Ukraine.
loss. You know,
He takes Ukraine.
let me, huh? What's that?
He takes Ukraine.
You
He
got,
may
you got
take
insurgency.
Ukraine, yes.
You got
At the
Afghanistan.
point we do something, or do we wait till it gets all over Europe and he decides he wants
We're
Canada?
If you think he's going to stop in Ukraine, there's a mistake right there because he's not. If he takes
He's not going
Ukraine,
to stop.
his dream is to reinstitute the Soviet Union. So
Yep.
if we
And then he
don't
takes
face
NATO,
it
and then
now,
we
we're
can
going to
go to
face it
war.
later. But let me take a quick pause here to catch up because my brother Buddy Davis came in. Oh Lord, 13 minutes ago. Buddy, I'm sorry we get caught up in the conversation here, and I get behind on my business. Buddy Davis came in with $10 donation. Buddy, thank you very much. Buddy is a renowned artist. If you don't know who he is, please Google his name and check out his music because you won't be disappointed. And I am right now, Buddy Davis, trying to go through the Rolodex in my head that you got an invitation from somebody. Put it in the chat in there. Remind me what that is because I was impressed. Let me thank Catman56 who came in with another donation and said, when you see a Trump ilk watching Star Trek, slap them hard, saying we will never get there with your thinking in that way. Yes. Yeah, Keith, we're not going to get there, brother. That's the dream, get to there. Anyway, S. Warren down in Georgia came in with a $5 donation and said, another traitor president candidate, Tulsi Gabbard, got criticized by Romney today. Are her claims of biolabs, U.S. biolabs in Ukraine. That is the talking point for the right now is that the United States have biolabs in Ukraine and we're creating weapons of mass destruction. Yeah, they're throwing a boogeyman, a biolab. Tell me a country in this world that does not have that does not have biolabs in their country. Hell, they all over the place. Every country has biolabs, you idiots. Where do you think they cure diseases? They're not all out there to kill you.
Agents.
Yeah. Diana Mallory bequeathed the call and came back with another $10. Thank you, Diana. Be kind, but be careful. Came in and said, happy birthday, young Blue Dot Dominic. And it is official. He is a Blue Dot, and he has a mug to prove it. He does. He has two. One in his hand and one on his face, baby.
And he's got a T-shirt on the way to prove it to you.
Outstanding. I love that kid. And Claudia Garcia came in with a $2 donation and said, if he invades Poland, he won't know what hit him. There's the line, baby. If he does hit Putin, Poland is a NATO member, and here we go. Richard Phillips came in with Richard Phillips came in with a $2 donation and said, Putin and Trump are out of the same cloth. They are the same cloth. They're ripped right out of there. They're the same people. They want it all. And cat a lot. I like that. Cat a lot. I got a lot of cats. I might clean that. Go in there and look out there when I feed all 15. Numbers are going up too. Oh man, 2 of them, I've seen them. They're pregnant. Oh, shit. Anyway, Catalot came in with a $5 donation. Catalot, thank you very much. I didn't mean to overstep there. Hank, what were you saying?
No. Also something of note, thousands of Russians, clever Russians, educated Russians, are fleeing the nation at the moment. There's an influx of Russian people who are fed up with Putin and his regime, and they are leaving Russia by the thousands,
Uh,
flying.
that's what
The
I meant
borders
a
are
minute
still
ago,
open.
Hank, when I said that the way to get Russia is information. Right now, Putin controls Russian TV, all the information going out. They just passed a new law. If you say this, that, and the other, if you call it a war or whatever, we're gonna arrest your ass. U.S. news agencies and other news agencies have closed down in Russia because of that law. So Putin is winning the information law. If we can get
No. Sorry, he's not.
Within
He's not
Russia.
winning the information. I'll tell
within
you
Russia,
why
he's
not
controlling
winning.
what the Russian people are hearing.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
He's not?
Most young people in Russia
Young,
know how
yes.
to use a VPN, know how to get the information. They will show it to their parents, and it's already happening. And do not think that 30 years of relative freedom, relative prosperity,
has not provided a way for them to. Yes,
has not-
it's up. Yeah, if they tried, they
will.
could get the information. But for the common Russian,
They
as I
will.
understand it,
they will revolt. At one stage, it's impossible for Russia not to have a revolt against this regime. Why? Because it's a Russian tradition, basically.
it has
I
happened
can post
before.
a video by a Ukrainian Russian expert who says this also. He's a scholar at
Yeah.
university in America.
What's that old thing? If
it's
those
quite
that don't
simple.
learn from history are doomed to repeat it, Putin might have paid attention to that a little bit.
The 70 years of Soviet domination is not forgotten in Russia. The 30 years of relative freedom and prosperity made a lot up. And do you really think that the Russian people want to get rid of this?
There's so many.
freedom that they
There's
already
ways
have.
out of this that don't involve weapons. And the Russian people
Exactly.
standing up, and they're still getting arrested right now, every day, for protesting this war, even in the face of all the nastiness that's going on over there. I want
There
to call
are
out.
entire military units deserting.
I want to call out
That's a
Nita
fact.
Parker's donation here, $10 donation. Nita, thank you very much. And she said, "Has anyone else seen the video of the old couple throwing Russian off their property?"
Brilliant.
And then where's my banger? Where's my banger? Pull it out of Donnie's ass. Thank you,
Yes.
Nita Parker. But yes, I've seen that. I've seen the one with the old lady offering sunflower seeds. Put these in your pocket so when you die on our soil, sunflowers will grow. There are acts
all
of
sound
courage by people that are marching in the street with Russian soldiers firing automatic weapons over their head. They barely flinch. They continue to march. We've seen everything from Ukrainians jumping on armored personnel carriers with the Ukrainian flag. We've seen so much courage in the face of this shit that don't involve a weapon, but involve their voice. And there's nothing more powerful than that. There is nothing more powerful. It beats any bomb we got. That's what we're seeing within the Ukrainian people itself, is that courage.
That's amazing.
That courage to stand in the face of weapons and not flinch, to hold your ground.
Yeah, that's impressive.
It is. It is.
Ukraine is a sovereign nation, which is
It
asked
is.
Yes.
for help because they are being attacked.
They're begging for help.
We as the West can sit back and wait for Putin to make a mistake and jump the border. And then the same thing's going to happen. So why not stop it? All they're asking for is a no-fly zone. Yeah, I know. Then we shoot at a Russian plane. It's going to happen sooner or later. That's what
We
I'm
lost
I don't argue that point against that. I mean, it's going to get to the point.
Either, but
It's
we
simple.
have
Sorry.
national
but
treaties that we must follow. We can't just go in there with guns blazing and rootin' tootin' wild wild west shit. We can't do it that way.
If we did do it that way, that's
And
when you're going to
apart-
see the
and
nuke
apart
fly.
Apart from that, yeah, it's a simple mathematical equation.
It's an
Do you want to
escalation.
risk millions of people in nuclear war against 30,000 Ukrainian people dying?
So he goes
is
over
that
the
cold.
border. No, NATO comes in.
I am
How does that
1,700
change
kilometers.
anything?
No, I'm not standing. I'm sorry. I'm getting really pissed off here. I'm not standing for this gung ho bullshit. Sorry, Keith.
Thank you.
I am living 1,700 kilometers from Ukrainian border. Yeah, that's nothing. If you put Ukraine over your precious United States, it's fucking bigger than your United States, basically, almost.
This it is a difficult edge here.
People who I know serve in NATO, and yes, NATO in a conventional war can outfight the Russians, but we are not talking here about a conventional war, and I don't know how to hammer this.
And even if it were kept at a conventional war,
this is the fucking closest we have come to a nuclear war.
We are not on the
since
front lines here in the
Missile
States.
crisis.
So we have to keep in mind what we're asking the other NATO nations to do, because they are on the front lines. They are close. So
my friends are in Lithuania now. They're in the military, in the NATO military. They're practicing there. They're together with Americans, Germans, French, Polish, Lithuanians, Romanians, whatever. They're Dutch fighters in
Hank,
Romania.
what would you do?
Flying.
Because Finland is on the border with Russia. It borders Russia. If Russia decided to cross that border and annex Finland.
St. Petersburg, they can attack St. Petersburg. We can get Kaliningrad within a day, if possible. But it's all the same result. It's a zero sum. What we're doing now
it's
is
a total loss for everybody if we go down that road. That's how come I believe that we are. I like to think that the world is trying desperately everything that we can do to prevent an escalation of this war. But we cannot stand by and watch as helpless civilians are being. But, we have to be honest with ourselves, because we are concerned about the fight in Ukraine. But we should be concerned about the fight in Yemen. We should be concerned that there is no Palestine for the Palestinian people. We should be actively involved in a lot of things that we let slide. Right now, Ukraine is the big picture, baby.
Look the other way on.
Yes, that we turn our head to a blind eye. We can't be doing that shit.
How the fuck do we go and ask Saudi Arabia for gasoline? After allowing their fearless
go back and
leader
listen to my fucking things, and I've said it forever that selling weapons to Saudi Arabia is going to come back and bite us on the ass one day.
Thank you, Trump.
The only organization that can in state and just by a common vote and state that Western Ukraine should be a complete safe haven is the UN. Then we can have a UN army with white vehicles roll in, and without NATO, or maybe with NATO involvement, however, not as NATO, but as UN. The UN needs to put an army in.
Yes.
If anybody needs to put
a United Nations peacekeeping force.
No-fly zone
so everybody gets a skin in the game.
Then you have all nations of the world against Russia, or at least most of the nations in the world, and that might even force Putin to stop. It might not. But if you take the entire west of Ukraine, or parts of the west of Ukraine, and you call that a UN safe haven, like Srebrenica, where everything went wrong, it might change things. However, we cannot do it as NATO, we cannot do it as the USA or as private individual countries. It has to be under the UN flag. That's the way international law has arranged this since World War II. So, I'm sorry. I understand the emotion. I understand the feeling. I understand the crying. I see these pictures every day also. And yes, they do affect me. A barbecued Russian affects me a bit less than a young baby that died, and a mom crying because the young baby died because some Russian bastard decided to shell her home, because she's not armed and the Ukrainian military is armed. So that's a small difference. But yeah, this is the only way we can do it, is by UN or by putting a lot of weapons inside Ukraine, so that they can not only defend themselves, but in the case that Ukraine might be overrun, they can have an insurgency, the likes you have never seen, not even in Afghanistan.
Information into Russia. That's what we need to do.
And information into Russia. That's
information
the other thing.
into Russia.
Yes. And not only do we have to get information into Russia, we have to get information into Republican voters here.
Yep. Let's
the
see.
part.
There he goes up. There goes my dander up. when I start talking about that because of the fact of
I know,
people
I
like
know, John,
Cawthorn
but
and
it's
they're
you know
also willing to
we
divide
gotta
this
stop.
country over.
Yeah, but we gotta stop
We
reacting
do.
to their
We have
bullshit
to bring
and
this
come up
country
with
back
a
together.
way to talk to our neighbors, talk to
Yep,
our family,
it's true.
talk to our people. Just like the young Russians in Ukraine are trying to talk to their Russian counter family
Yeah,
members in Russia
it's not
that
always,
don't believe that the war is happening. The same misinformation thing that Jazaniva was talking about earlier today is happening there too. It is part of Putin's plan. It's what worked here in America. He test run that shit here and it worked well. So he's
divide,
using
baby,
it in
divide
his
and
own
conquer.
country now.
It's as old as history itself. Divide and conquer. Anyway, I guess we've run.
I'll
Oh
tell
wait,
you.
no, I gotta hit this button.
Let me just
I forgot to
let
hit
me
the
just
button.
tell you a
Huh.
small anecdote.
What?
One of my friends on Facebook is a Vietnam veteran. He served in the Marines. He did horrible things and he experienced horrible things. He's a
Yeah, I know a few
Republican.
people like that.
He was a fan of Trump until Trump became so crazy that he was less of a fan of Trump. But now he only sees Fox, and he started putting out this Fox bullshit on his page. And I confronted him via PM. I said, listen, you are now becoming an asset for Putin. You are becoming an asset for Russia. With your Biden, and Biden does this, and Biden does that.
Yeah.
And the Russians are this, and the
That's
Russians
why
are that.
I
said,
so admire
you are now
Poroshenko.
actively becoming an asset for the Russians, and it's not patriotic, because you as a country should come together. This is
You would
war.
think so, Hank, and
I don't
there
know
are
if you
those within
understand
this
it.
country
It
that
is
are trying.
war.
But
It's
right
not
now,
economic war. It is war.
with
They are
the
not
old guy
firing
that
yet.
we got, who was just yesterday out there on the freaking stump, preaching his bullshit, and still gathering people to listen to him. There's a
Well,
problem,
my
but
friend
it's within our house. But we
removed
have to
his
fix it.
comments. My friend removed his comments because he and I had a long discussion, and he said, I'm thankful that somebody shows me a different
Well,
opinion and also comes up with the facts to substantiate that different
I
opinion.
told you all the
I
other
told him,
day
you're only watching
on
Fox.
my rant that
Watch
I have
other
a friend
things.
that me and him disagree vehemently on this shit, big time. He's the last guy
Excuse
that I
me?
have that stands on that side that I can still tolerate, and we still look at each other when we leave and say, "I love you, brother. I love you back. I'll pray for you," is what I tell him all the time. But we're still friends, and we still
Excuse me?
talk. I'm sorry?
Yeah, Cheryl is got bumped, and she's got her hand up.
Uh-oh.
Oh shit, I couldn't see from here.
Let me get her back in here real quick. We'll have to let her know that Discord does that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Discord decides who will stay and who shall
Jesus
leave.
Christ, also.
There,
I
now
hope
she
I
just
wa-
needs to accept.
I hope I wasn't too rude to Keith, but he really touched a nerve there.
Keith has got
Sorry for
passions,
that.
as you do. And it is when we come together and talk that we test
We
ourselves.
all want to go in and help Ukraine.
It is
and
a
I wish that
predominant
we
feeling
could
here.
Go in and lay down some air support, ground support, or whatever. We just
I wish we
can't.
could.
I wish
can't.
we could. Too.
We
But if Putin crosses that line, that's gonna be.
it's
up
going to
his
change,
ass.
and a lot of people believe we're trying to avoid the inevitable, because I do believe that he is trying his hardest to get NATO involved, to push us to a point to where we react. That's what he wants.
Yes.
We need to use every reasonable avenue to try to stop this, either on a diplomatic level, on a mission to
that's
get
still
information
going on.
in, or to disrupt Russia within itself, as Russia has done to America.
Yes.
Let's do that to Russia. Let's divide those that still support Putin,
I'll tell
and
you one
from
thing.
those
I've already
that
said this.
huh?
I already said this. There was an interview years ago in which a journalist asked Mr. Putin, "What do you think about the mutual assured destruction nuclear doctrine that has kept us safe during the Cold War?" Mr. Putin said the following, literally: "A Russia without the world is always better than the world without Russia." That's his mindset.
That's his mentality. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Do
already
not
know
get that
that.
wrong.
Yeah.
Ever.
We are indeed on fragile ground. We are on pins and needles with this shit. And it will continue to be because of the escalation day by day. Last night's missile strike within 12 miles of Poland, that's getting mighty close to NATO, and he's going to keep pushing. We hope that calmer minds prevail, that we find, like I said, that diplomatic solution or a solution within Russia itself. Hope that comes through, but in the big ball of wax, for whatever which way we go, try to prepare yourself for as much as you can. They always say, expect the worst, hope for the best. It ain't looking good every day. But take heart in what you have at home and remind yourself.
And grow some food. Grow some food.
Yeah, grow some food. Good advice. Good advice.
A lettuce plant in the ground.
Before I run off,
in the ground.
This is off topic right now, but I ran out of the room to go get this piece of paper earlier because the conversation was there. And it's not now. We've lost the moment. But, excuse me, on the subject of gas prices and how we're all belly aching, excuse me, about the cost of fuel. Last year, and let's wait before I read this. Let's define one little word. The word profit is what you make after expenses. After you pay the bills, after you pay everybody's wages, after you put your money into research and development, all that stuff that you do as a company, and then there's profit. Last year, ExxonMobil made $23 billion in profit. Shell made $19.5 billion in profit. Chevron made $15.6 billion. British Petroleum, $12.8 billion in profit. In profit. So next time that you're bitching about, oh, look what Joe Biden, why don't the government do something? No, it's not the government. This is capitalism, baby. This is what it looks like. You're paying billions in profit. Profit, baby. That's profiteering. So when you're complaining about $4, $5, $6 dollar gallon of gas, ask that oil company, where's your patriotic duty to cut into your own profits to help this country? So don't tell me Joe Biden does this with his costing us gas. No, it's not Joe Biden. It's Exxon. It's Shell. They're packing it up your butt, baby, because you want that gas? Yeah, you'll pay for it. And everything else that transports everything else. You'll pay for it or you won't get it.
Well,
Capitalism,
John,
baby, at its highest point.
I will tell you personally, and this is only because I can do this. I do realize everybody is not capable of doing what I'm about to say.
What you about to say?
The oil companies, they ain't made a goddamn dime off of my ass because I ain't gone nowhere since gas prices went up.
I know that you don't travel very often. Anyway, because for Bernadette up in her area, hell, gas has already been, high forever.
Yes.
I'm down here looking at $4. I'm looking at $4 a gallon now. I'm lying. Actually, it's $3.99.9 cents a gallon. So
we have giraffe pussy prices up here, honey.
Oh,
Our
man.
gasoline has been $5 and up all year. When it started raising,
does it have to be though? Because these
regular
numbers
gas
tell me
went
it doesn't have to be that way.
75
These numbers
higher.
tell me I'm seeing a company
They
that has
don't.
greed, that is so driven by profit that nothing else matters. That's what I see in this. And I live it down here. I worked in the oil field. I've sat on a drilling rig where nothing you can see. The only thing you can see on me is mud and the whites of my eyes and my teeth. I've stood on that floor in the dead of winter covered in mud. Man, that bit turns all the way all the time when the price is right. Price goes down, fucking shut it in. It's a game. You think we drill here and all the oil and gas is sold here in America? No, it's sold on the fucking open market. It is. That's where all of it goes. It's a commodity. It's not a national resource that we get to keep. I was glad to see Jen Psaki coming out and pointing out the fact that when they're talking about Joe Biden, why don't we open up drilling? These companies right here have 9,000 permits right now to go out and drill. They're not using. They're not using. These are in their pocket, baby. They want more.
Pipeline. The XL pipeline is not going to produce gasoline
that comes
can be
from
bought and
freaking
sold
salt
here in the United States.
I mean, sand oil.
Moved by the big oil companies trying to get that pipeline back over. It's bullshit.
The other day, oil went to $130 a barrel, and prices at the top overnight, bam, shoot up.
Yep.
It's back down to $109 a barrel. Did you see it go down? No, it's going to go higher because they base it on that one, baby. West Texas Intermediate, $109 a barrel this morning. It's going down, but you're not getting that story, and they don't want you to hear that.
And as fuel prices increase,
baby,
the cost of everything else will
That's
go
how they
higher
get the
too.
$20 billion in profit. So
This
let's
is
put the
corporate
blame for the
America.
gas prices exactly where it
Capitalism at
belongs.
its best.
I think
Capitalism
Michael
at
wants to
its
put in.
best.
He's downstairs.
Who?
Michael wants to put in.
Oh,
I see
Michael.
a hand.
Let's get Michael up here before we're going to have to run out pretty quick. We're holding a long show. But I want to get Michael in here. Let's see if we can. Michael's a good guy. I love this guy. And we're all waiting on you, Michael. No pressure.
Just needs
We
to
know you
accept.
can hear us, but we're all just sitting here waiting on the arrival.
Hi, Michael.
There he is.
Oh, Michael.
There he is.
How you doing, Michael?
Hi, John. How are you, buddy?
I'm hanging in there every day, buddy. Hanging in there every day. Making progress. That's what we do. How are you?
I think he just got bumped.
Really? Yeah.
Yep.
Ain't that some
He got discorded. He's got his hand up again. There you go.
I got him. There you go. Man, what's up with this shit? You
Good
come
job.
in, you jump out, what? Michael?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, brother.
How about that?
How have you been doing, brother?
I've been good enough, sir. I just want to turk your loin.
Wait a minute. What? I didn't hear you.
Michael, do you have your audio turned up in the background? Because it's giving a little feedback.
No, I have nothing in the background.
Okay.
About now.
That's better.
It's good now.
Okay. I'm going to torque your loins just a little bit further here on this issue, if that's okay. First off, hi, John. Thanks for letting me in.
Pleasure all the time, brother.
I don't care if you're 80 years old and you've taken nothing but public transportation all your life. You have given the oil companies money through subsidies. Your tax dollars go to oil companies. If you pay at the pump or not, if you've never bought gas in America, you have given the oil companies money, and you don't get a choice on that.
It's in everything.
It's in everything. It's in absolutely everything.
Mm-hmm.
Every product we have, you would be amazed at the and medicines. Let's don't forget that.
Medicine.
Hey, let's not forget legislation.
Yeah,
You know, it's
Isn't it in plastics too?
Yes, yes. A lot of plastics is petrochemicals.
Plastics.
Yes.
Petrochemical companies make plastics.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, I'm telling you, I live in Refinery Row down here. They refine everything here, from jet fuel to gasoline to plastics to you name it. I'm surrounded by refineries that make it.
And if you don't use any of those products, you still pay tax.
Yep.
You still support the oil company because that's
Well,
the
look
way
at the bailouts.
Oh, darling, we have given so much to the oil and gas industry, to the fossil fuel industry. Let's don't forget coal. We have subsidized it for years, for decades. It has been sold to the American public as as well. That's the open market. We can't. Yeah, no bullshit. This is a game they play, and it gets serious at times. We made so much progress over the years, and then have somebody like Scott Pruitt come into the EPA and destroy so many rules and regulations that covered.
It's so simple that if oil would not exist, that we would pay the wood industry, the coal industry. If coal would not exist,
Coal would go up, baby, not for oil and gas.
And the industry making oil from olives and oil from other stuff. I mean,
we talk about the Republican Party not having a platform, and that is such bullshit because it's so obvious what they're doing. Look at education, look at health, look at, I don't care what industry. Their plan is to defund, destroy, and privatize
everything.
Everything they can.
Mail service. Look at, I don't care. Point at anything.
That's exactly what you're right. No, Michael, you're right. That's where they want to go. That's called fascism, by the way.
Right.
Follow the money.
You know, that's fascism.
It's called friendly fascism.
They're not hiding it. They're not.
No, they're promoting it. That's what these profits for the oil companies are.
With friendly fascism, I'm alluding to a song by a band called Consolidated during the 90s, and it's like America does not exist. Only Exxon, Mobil, and all kinds of companies exist. So America as a nation is a bunch of companies deciding what the public, what the civilians do.
Yeah.
And that's
Ooh,
was
I
during
don't
the
like
90s. And they call that.
You know, and to anybody that might be taken aback by Hank's opinion, let me remind him, you know, we so treasure Hank's opinion, and Aussie David knows, for Eva Adams in Berlin and others around the world, because you can't turn a blind eye when people are trying to look at you from the outside and let you know something. Not all of our history is.
I did not mean any offense, because I am full on in agreement that me sitting here in my little.
Where are you, by the way, Farrell? What part of the country?
Oh, honey, I'm in Texas. My family's been in
bless
Texas
your
before.
heart, baby, a local girl. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm in Brazos Valley.
Outstanding. Nice
And
country up in there.
I absolutely defer any opinion on any of this to anyone who is over in across the pond.
Yeah.
Because it's on your doorstep.
It is.
And yeah,
we are a world away.
So ultimately, I support whatever all of you guys want to do about it.
Well, that's what democracy is. We come together. We make it. That's what diplomacy is.
Well, it's supposed to be compromise.
We come together,
right?
and we decide how we're going to address any issue.
Anybody to break, right?
Yeah. Well, baby, we're so glad you came in. We're glad you found your way in here. And to anybody else that wants to, the easiest way for me to tell you is just go to a bluedotintexas.com on the internet, and you can find a button. That's our site, and you find a button on there about how to download Discord and how to hook it up and how to use it, so you can come in here and join the conversation. We'd love to have as many voices as we can in here. That's what this is, a discussion. And I don't think any of us have all the answers, and that's why we come here to discuss every day.
That's true.
Yeah, it'd be scary if we did. We'd be Trump, because he's got all the answers, and that shit is scary. Let me thank Dwayne Dwizzle before we go for coming in. He came in with a $5 donation and said, "Don't forget the taxpayers' subsidy of oil. Last year it was $20 billion in taxpayer subsidies." Well, let me see. Split how many ways there? I wonder how much of the billions they got in profit was our tax dollars. That's what kills me. What's that, Hank?
I would like to let you all realize how absurd, completely absurd this world has become. I'm looking at the front page of the BBC news site, and we have in most watched, we have number 1,
BBC is
Zelensky
a good place
visits
to get your.
wounded Ukrainian soldiers. Number 2, looking back at the first sex worker strike. Number 3, Ukrainians mourn their fallen soldiers. And then below that, we have a story about a surfer who does surfing. We have a story about an Indian laborer becoming a YouTube star. We have something about a young girl without TikTok. I would still be a wedding singer. And then we have the South African anger felt by foreigners. And then we have will war in Ukraine thaw U.S.-Venezuela relations. So this is basically a cutout of present-day society. You have those who are worried. You have those who are fighting. You have those who are angry. You have those who are in love. You have some influencers finding themselves overly important. And basically, who doesn't want an asteroid at this very moment?
Yeah.
Hey. Speaking of asteroids,
Yes.
there was an asteroid that was discovered, and 2 hours later, that fucker hit our atmosphere.
Really?
I saw that.
That's not good. That's not good. Yeah.
And we think we're the most
It
important
could
things
be.
on,
It
in
could
the
be
universe.
in the blink of an eye, baby. It could all be gone.
Did you see how big?
We are
'Cause I
nothing
could
but a
check-
spot, a speck in the universe, baby.
Yeah,
Not in the.
I think-
Our
I think
universe
it was the size
is a
of
speck in the
car.
grand. Who knows if it goes? If it's infinite, it never ends.
The really good thing about it, it was going slower than we're going, so it burnt up in the
Oh,
atmosphere.
we dodged so many
Okay.
bullets, baby.
To be discovered and then hit the atmosphere within 2 hours. Yeah, the dinosaurs. I don't think they got that long.
Nothing puts
But,
things in perspective for me better than watching a
Thank
show
you.
about space, about the Webb telescope is big right now because I just can't wait to see it on the other side of the horizon. I want to see what's on the other side, and because it does, it reminds me of the grand scheme of things, of how minuscule we are, and if we don't get our shit together on this little spot, then it's all for naught anyway. It's all going to go up in a puff of smoke. And the planet would be better off without the fleas that infest it if we don't do a better job of it. Anyway, that's the big picture. But anyway, we got a war to win. So the crises come daily, and we have to face them daily. So, I try to remind everybody every time I talk to try tomorrow.
So
to
we have an
put it-
election to win.
Yes,
we have
we
an
do.
election to win, and that's
Hear, hear.
extremely
Hey.
important in this country, in making democracy survive right here in the United States.
On Tim Cormal's show, there's a segment in there called My Twitter Friend of the Week. So everybody that comes on the show, you pick out a friend on Twitter, and you come on and you quote them and you promote them and tell people follow this guy. He's got a good, whatever it is. And today, my Twitter Friend of the Week, and y'all really should, if you're on Twitter, go follow this guy. He's called Brooklyn Dad Defiant.
I follow him.
Yes, he's an outstanding. He's at Padillan, at MMPADELLAN. He's a great guy. He wrote a book called The Littlest President. In his tweet today, I read on Tim's show because even somebody up in New York City can see, and to quote Brooklyn Dad Defiant, Beto O'Rourke will be a billion times better governor than Greg Abbott ever thought about being. I love it, baby. Yes, we haven't forgot about the season. Your job, make sure you are ready to vote. Whatever hurdle the state that you live in has put up, make sure you can clear it, baby. Make sure, because we're having a hard time getting Congress and the Senate to get this passed. And so be ready, because you want to know what you can do for your country. Vote. It is the most important thing any citizen is given the responsibility to
drag
do.
everybody you know to the voting
It's a
booth.
right, but it's more, don't let it be blasé about it. This is something that's critical to our nation, is your voice. So please encourage others to do the same. And again, like I said, tomorrow, whatever else is going on, try to put a smile on somebody else's face, baby, because it's going to put a smile on your heart. It makes your day go by just a little bit better, and it doesn't waste a day. So try to do that. I want to thank everybody for coming in tonight. Let me see. I want to thank Mitch Goldstein for coming in. We lost him earlier. I'm sure him and Julie had to eat. Who else did we lose? We lost somebody else too. Oh,
Keith?
yes, Keith and Kathy. Keith and
Yeah.
Kathy, they were in here and then we left. I want to thank them for coming in, using their voice. And let me get down the list here. Ardessa, thank you very much for coming in, darling. Take care of Dan for us.
Thank you.
I'm glad to hear that he's getting better. So is better than the
Yeah.
other way, baby. So let's keep that going. And
Yes, sir.
we'll look forward to the next update on him. But you take care of yourself, baby.
Okay.
And Michael James, brother, thank you for coming in. I
John,
appreciate
thank
it.
you so much.
Yeah, we
Thank
haven't
you
had you
so
in here in a
much
while,
for
brother. I was tickled to death to see your hand go up, man. Snatch
Yeah,
you up in a heartbeat.
You put a burr under my ass when you started talking about the oil industry.
Well, I'll try to plant that burr a little more often. Rile your
There you
cattle.
go.
Anyway, Michael, thank you for coming and using your voice, brother. We appreciate it.
Thank you, John.
And Hank, brother, you know your voice is always welcome here, and the discussion is always great, brother. We appreciate your voice in here.
Thank you, Hank.
And,
Yes,
You too.
Yes,
Earl,
Hank.
and
Thank
There
you,
you go.
buddy.
Ardessa, John, and Bernadette, and Michael, and that's my name. No, I'm sorry that I went a little bit ballistic.
No.
but,
Honey, you do not have to be
no,
sorry.
don't
Do
apologize
not
for your
be
opinion
sorry.
in here, baby. That's
Mhm.
what we're in here to talk
Nope.
about.
Not at all.
Not at
Yep.
all. So
We're family.
Yep.
The
Yep.
least we could do is listen.
That was
That's
the
what we
calmest
do.
ballistic I've ever heard.
Yeah, really. Anyway, and Farrell, thank you for coming in.
Absolutely, and welcome.
Thank
Welcome
you,
to the
John.
family, baby.
Thank you, Bernadette. Thank you, Odessa. Thank you, Michael. Thank
Now
you,
that
Hank.
you done found your
Thank
way
you,
in here, don't be a
everyone.
stranger, baby. We're here all the time.
Okay.
Yep.
And
Peace,
thank you.
love, and happiness
There you
to
go.
everybody on the
There
planet.
you go. That,
Yeah.
that
You
always
too.
helps. And Bernadette, always Bernadette.
Yes.
Thank you, baby, for coming
Yay,
in.
Bernadette.
John, I
Yay,
want to take a
Bernadette.
moment to say thank you to everybody who contributed tonight. The
Yes.
Blue Dot family is the most generous people that I know. Thank you to all the Patreon
We're going to build a
members.
fence. So,
Without
yes,
you,
thank you.
we couldn't do this, you guys. We couldn't do this. So I appreciate you guys, and I just want to say thank you for that.
Thank you to everybody who donates a la carte through PayPal and Super Chat. To our Patreon members, thank you very much. It's what helps pay the bills around here. And yeah, we're going to start building a fence. So yeah, we're going to start a fund for that. And y'all donated it to it tonight. Anyway, thank you all for your support, whether it be financial or moral support or your conversation in this group, the conversation that goes on that chat. That is the payoff for me. This community that we have formed, I could not be more proud of it. When I see somebody like Eva Adams out there helping the Ukrainian refugees, and she's been a Blue Dot for a long time, it makes my heart just swell up. There are good people all over the world, and you can bet your ass Eva Adams is
I
putting
want to say,
Eva
Eva
Adams
Garden,
is
many
putting a smile on
blessings to
somebody's
you.
face. What's that?
I just wanted to say to Eva Garden, many blessings
Adams,
to you.
I'm sorry.
I'm an animal person, and you
Yeah,
won
I
my
don't know why I
heart.
said Eva Gardner. It's Eva because she's an actress, I think. Eva Adams in Berlin.
Eva
yes,
Adams.
Yes.
I'm
It started.
sorry. I
It started
remember
with her.
that.
That's an
Yes,
So she's a jazz singer.
yes.
Eva
She's so
Adams.
proud.
Eva
It's,
is
animal
amazing.
person.
Jay
You
Clayton,
won my
indeed.
heart. Many
And
blessings.
don't make us call the fire department on you, please, buddy. You're in town. Keep the flames down a little bit. An ember blowing. Anyway, it ain't no. It's gonna get out of control. Y'all just wait and see. It's gonna be flowers, candy, and all this. You'll be strumming
By
this
the
damn
way,
guitar out on the
if,
beach and moonlight, and making the
If
rest
this
of us
war
look like
reaches,
shit. Huh?
If this war reaches the Netherlands, I hope that Travis has a spare bunk bed because I'll be coming over.
You're welcome.
Right on.
You're welcome to. I think he does.
You got lots
Travis
of
says he
places to
does.
stay.
Travis says.
Plenty of air mattresses.
There you go. You got lots of air mattresses.
Yep.
We're building a wall too here, so Anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming in, joining this conversation. Again, like I say, try to put a smile on your heart tomorrow. Thank you to everybody that participates in this. Thank you to our YouTube, our Facebook family, for being such a big part of this. And to quote Gene Prim, gay, 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 gay.
Gay,
Gay, gay, gay, gay, gay, gay, gay, gay. Hey, and transgender too down here in Texas. Don't forget us down here. We got our own lunatics down here. Anyway, we ought to make a song. It's become a thing. You ought to see how many people on Twitter and all over the place are just going in, just gay. They're putting up billboards, gay in their face.
Hang on. We all have to record a song, or we can all sing it now. It goes something like this: gay.
Hey, gay. Yeah, there you go. It's an American thing, baby. It is, because that's what equality is. That's what being American is. We are an inclusive society. We don't want to put asterisks on anybody's ass. Nobody gets an asterisk here. We're one thing. E pluribus unum. We fight for all, or none of us worth a shit. Anyway, I love y'all. Y'all take care of yourself. And we will, let me see, today's Sunday? No, Monday suck. We already came up with that. Monday sucks. So we will be back here Tuesday for another Blue Dot family meeting. So please come by and join us. And until then, just try to keep your heart warm, baby, and keep that smile in your heart. It's the best thing you can do for your health. I love y'all. Y'all say good night to everybody.
Love y'all too. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Take care.
Sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams. There you go, baby. Take care of yourself.